Welcome to the deep dive. Well, the final weekend of June 2025 just finished, and it really capped off what was a highly eventful month of tournament golf.
Absolutely. You saw the international tours really accelerating towards the July majors.
Yeah, and professionals, all around the globe delivering these thrilling duels, some really emotional comebacks, and actually some genuinely historic milestones.
Yeah, fully. So this deep dive, we're really going to pull out the most important insights from this comprehensive Global Golf Report Week 26 that covers June 26th to 29th, 2025.
Right. And our mission really is for you, the listener, to understand how these champions emerged, whether it was through seasoned experience or maybe raw talent or just incredible mental resilience.
And crucially, what all this sets up for the really vital weeks ahead as the season properly kicks into high gear.
Okay, let's unpack this incredible week then, starting with, well, a true masterclass in veteran performance, you could say, the U.S. Senior Open.
Padraig Harrington.
Hmm.
Again,
Exactly. Proving that experience really does count, even in the thin air of Colorado Springs. He grabbed his second U.S. Senior Open title there.
that's on the Broadmoor East course. And it's his 10th career win on the PGA Tour Champions, which is just, well, sustained excellence, isn't it?
It really is. Remarkable consistency.
And what's fascinating about Harrington's win, it isn't just that he won, but sort of how he did it. I mean, 4 incredibly steady rounds, 67, 67, 68, and then another 67 to finish.
Wow, that's 269 strokes minus 11.
Yeah, and this wasn't a runaway victory either. It was a proper 4-day battle, mostly with Stewart Cink, that went right down literally to the 72nd hole.
And Harrington, with that, that incredible composure that only decades of competition can really give you.
He just calmly two-putted for par, secured a one-shot victory. That level of consistent low scoring under that kind of pressure, it just says so much about his course management and, well, his mental game.
Totally. And while Harrington was sealing the win, the final day also had some, electrifying moves elsewhere on the leaderboard. Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Yes, Jimenez produced the best round of the day, a blistering 63.
63. He surged into third place at 9 under. And get this, 6 birdies on the back 9 alone.
Wow.
What does a charge like that tell you when a player's chasing, but maybe not quite in the mix for the win?
Well, it highlights a different kind of, let's say, competitive freedom, right? When you're not actually leading, you're maybe a bit more free to take risks, attack pins with a certain abandon.
Less pressure.
Exactly. Jimenez clearly saw an opportunity to make a statement. And that 63, it's just a testament to aggressive, confident play when the weight of leading isn't quite on your shoulders.
Makes sense. And of course, Harrington's mastery earned him a nice payday, $800,000 purse.
Well deserved.
Okay, so from seasoned experience, let's pivot to a totally different kind of drama. Livy Golf Dallas, that delivered a real thriller.
It certainly did. Patrick Reed securing his first individual Livy golf title at Merrido Golf Club in his home state of Texas, no less.
What's really interesting here is that he won despite a pretty shaky final round. Shot a 75 3 over par.
Yeah, which actually forced that 4-man playoff.
Yeah.
With Paul Casey, Louis Oosthuizen, and Jadikiro Kazuma.
So winning with an off final round like that, what does that reveal about a player like Reed?
Well, it reveals, I think, an extraordinary ability to just compartmentalize and perform under, extreme pressure, even when his swing maybe isn't quite firing on all cylinders.
Right.
While a 75 is, let's be honest, far from ideal for a final round, the fact that he still found a way, sinking that clutch birdie putt on the very first extra hole, it shows a different kind of resilience.
Yeah.
It's less about perfect execution across 18 holes and maybe more about just this absolute belief in his ability to deliver when it counts the most.
And then there was the team event, too. Consistency of a different kind there. Bryson DeChambeau's Crushers, GC.
Oh, yeah, they continued their absolute dominance. That's their 3rd consecutive team victory, finished at 18 under par.
Which was a full 11 strokes ahead of the 4 Aces, GC.
Just dominant. And Paul Casey was praising their cohesion, wasn't he? That DeChambeau's performance really powered them.
Yeah. And on a related note, Sergio Garcia used this event to secure a spot in the Open. That was through the internal LIV rankings. For those following the tours, how significant is that, a LIV player like Garcia locking up major access?
Oh, it's very significant. For many LIV players, getting into the majors is a complex challenge just because of their tour structure and the whole ranking system debate.
Right.
So Garcia, obviously, is a former major champion. He has a pathway. But every single opportunity to kind of solidify that access is absolutely crucial for their careers and just for maintaining their presence on golf's biggest stages,
Absolutely. And speaking of challenges, the event wasn't without its controversy either. Brooks Koepka withdrew.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. After multiple triple bogeys, apparently a visible outburst on the course, and then reported physical issues too.
I think many of us can relate to a frustrating day on the course, but maybe not the triple bogeys part. But seeing that kind of public display from a major champion, what does that tell you about the sheer mental grind at that level?
It really just underlines the immense pressure these players are constantly under and how quickly frustration can just boil over, even for the very best in the world.
Yeah.
And while we don't know all the details on his physical state, a visible outburst like that, it suggests an incredibly difficult day where maybe performance, expectation, and perhaps physical limitations all just collided.
A stark reminder, really.
It is. It's a reminder that even at that elite level, the human element, including emotional responses, is very much present.
Indeed. Okay, so if Harrington showed a seasoned consistency and Reed showed a different kind of resilience, well, the Rocket Classic introduced a completely fresh perspective.
Yes. Aldrich Podgeider.
At the Detroit Golf Club, 20-year-old from South Africa, really made history. This kid is something else.
He really is.
Yeah.
I mean, Podgeider opened with an unbelievable 62, 10 under par.
Tied the course record alongside Kevin Roy.
Right. And then he just held his ground against some strong challengers, like Max Gracerman and Chris Kirk. The Sunday drama was intense. Gracerman birdied the closing holes to force that playoff.
But after 5 tense extra holes...
5. Podgeider drains a 15-foot birdie putt to seal the victory.
Wow. A 15-footer after 5 playoff holes. What does that composure tell you about a 20-year-old on the PGA Tour? I mean, this makes him the youngest PGA Tour winner in several years.
And the 7th youngest champion in the past 4 decades. It's significant.
So is this the arrival of a major new international talent, or maybe just a rare outlier?
Look, this isn't just a young player getting hot for a win and winning. His performance, particularly how he held off seasoned pros and then delivered in 5 playoff holes, that signals a rare level of composure and, frankly, raw talent.
You think so?
I do. It really marks him as a potential future force in international golf. Now, it's always hard to predict the exact trajectory of these young stars, of course.
Sure.
But his calm under that kind of pressure, in such a high-stakes scenario, it really suggests he's more than just a flash in the pan. This feels different.
Okay, definitely one to watch. Now, speaking of breakthroughs, a different kind of victory was unfolding across the Atlantic. Adrien Chatier.
Yes, from France.
Yeah?
Captured his first DP World Tour title at the Italian Open in Monte, Argenteuil.
Tell us about that one.
Well, this was a really commanding performance for Chatier. He played incredibly steady, almost error-free golf for large parts of it, led from the front for a significant portion.
And for him, this win is, well, it's huge, right?
Oh, massive. It's a massive breakthrough. After years of sort of alternating between the Challenge Tour and the main DP World Tour,
Yeah.
this is big. It doesn't just earn him valuable ranking points. It genuinely opens a new chapter in his career.
Gives him that security.
Exactly. The security and the confidence to feel like he belongs and can compete at that highest level consistently. A really great story.
We're seeing these moments all over. Now, just a quick note on some other tours. The Asian Tour, Sunshine Tour, Australian Tour, they were actually inactive this past weekend.
Yeah, seems like many professionals from those tours are probably in a preparation phase, likely eyeing upcoming international events, maybe in Europe or North America.
Makes sense.
Meanwhile, though, the European Amateur Team Championship was in full swing. 16 nations battling it out for the team title.
And that championship, it's long served as a really crucial springboard for future pros, hasn't it?
Absolutely. It remains a premier platform for Europe's top young talent. It's often where you see the next generation really honing their skills just before they make that jump to the professional ranks. A real pipeline.
Okay, so with all that excitement behind us, let's shift our focus. What promises to be an equally thrilling week ahead? We're looking at July 3rd to 7th, 2025.
Yeah, and we're going to see some of the season's most prestigious and strategic events, really setting the stage now for those big majors coming up.
All right, where do we start?
First up, PGA Tour. We've got the John Deere Classic at TPC Deer Run in Illinois. Now, this event is pretty significant because it's often the final chance for many players to qualify for the Open.
Ah, the last chance saloon for the Open.
Kind of. And historically, it's been a real launching pad for emerging stars. You think of players like Jordan Spieth, Dylan Fratelli, They made their mark here early on, so definitely keep an eye out for who might make a last-minute push.
Good call. Okay, over on the DP World Tour.
We head to Germany for the BMW International Open at GC München-Eichenried. This is obviously a crucial home tournament for the German players, like Yannick Paul, Marcel Schneider.
Big one for them.
Yeah, and it's generally one of the strongest non-major events on the tour schedule. It consistently draws top international talent who are looking to, fine-tune their game before the majors.
Gotcha. And the seniors.
PGA Tour champions, they head to China for the Rainwood Legends Championship. This is quite a rare senior event held in Asia, and it features legends like Steve Stricker, Bernhard Langer, and of course, fresh off his win, Pádraig Harrington will be there. The focus there will be squarely on, well, skill, wisdom, and just precise course management from these veterans on what will be a unique course for them.
Should be fascinating to watch how they handle that. And for the women.
Ladies European Tour has a major highlight, the KPMG Women's Irish Open in Ireland, naturally. This event always boasts a really competitive international field.
And home favorite Leona Maguire will be there, facing off against strong contenders from the U.S. and Korea, I imagine.
Exactly. And this is a really vital tune-up ahead of the Women's Open, isn't it? What makes it so crucial for the players at this point?
Well, beyond the prestige of trying to win a national open, which is always huge, it's a critical chance for players to test their game under pressure, refine strategies, get into a competitive rhythm against a strong international field.
And maybe adjust to links conditions.
Precisely. Adjusting to potential links-style conditions that are pretty common in Ireland, which, can be very similar to what they'll likely face at the Women's Open. So really important prep.
Makes perfect sense. And just quickly, the Asian, South African, and Australian tours.
Right. As we mentioned, they were off. They'll resume their schedules around mid-July. So for now, many players from those tours are likely still in that preparation phase, probably eyeing the bigger European and North American events as their next competitive stops.
Okay, so if we sort of tie this all together, the final weekend of June was, truly a global celebration of competitive golf, wasn't it?
It really felt like it. It showcased the sport's full spectrum. You had Harrington's tactical maturity.
The sheer intensity of that LIV playoff drama.
And then the explosive emergence of Aldrich Potgieter. Just incredible range.
And with the July majors now looming large, you could feel the tours accelerating into peak form. Everyone's trying to find their game.
It really highlights how diverse and, frankly, how exciting professional golf has become across all the tours, all the age groups. And this coming week, it feels like it will really begin to reveal who's truly ready for that next level, that major championship pressure.
Definitely. So I guess the question for you, the listener, is this. Given the really varied champions we've just talked about and the different dynamics playing out across all these tours, what does this tell you about the current landscape of professional golf right now?
And maybe, who do you think is truly ready to make their mark as the season reaches its absolute peak?
Yeah, something to think about.
Absolutely, something to mull over until our next deep dive.